Should we start the show?
No, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What did you guys want to talk about?
Why don't we just start the Why don't we just start the show like that?
Hey guys, what do you want to talk about?
Don't know.
Chicka.
Come to my house, babe. Prove me wrong. Tell me that I'm fronting just for plain alone. Standing in naked, fire your shot. Rather see me dead, babe. Pretend I'm something I'm not. 'Cause I bleed. You said it's all I ever. Hey. Lord, I ain't got no dollar in my pocket, baby. Neither do the boys in my vein.
Oh yeah, welcome to another episode of the Guys with Issues, episode 8, the Ocho.
The Ocho.
Hachipan. Is it Valu in Samoan? In Hawaiian it's E Valu. Huh? What is
Evalu.
it? E Valu.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Mane. As always, I am with Russell Kealoha
What's up, everybody?
and Chad Wago.
Hey,
Man, it's been we were a few episodes in 2020, and we're still in this pandemic. Damn it!
Yep.
I mean, we were in it for several months before we started making episodes too.
Well, we are going to be the cure for the loneliness during this pandemic. When you got to stay home, listen to our episodes while you quarantine. Listen to our episodes while you're at home and nothing to do, or when you're doing stuff, then you can audio listen to it. Plug in those AirPods or headphones and listen to my sexy voice, ladies and gentlemen.
While you're
Oh,
doing the sexy things. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Allow the dulcet tones of the guys with issues to keep you company while you wash your dishes.
yeah. Get those dishes. Whap, 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 whap.
No, you want to dry the dishes. You don't want to get them wet over and over again.
Well, after you lick it clean. Oh wait, sorry, wrong. Got out of control, guys. I'm sorry.
I don't want to lick my dishes.
I also don't want to clean them with a mop and bucket.
Drop it. Just drop it and break it. Like, no more dishes now. Everybody use paper plates. And what happened to that? Remember when we were trying not, so we stopped using paper bags at the supermarkets so we don't have plastic. Oh no, so we don't cut down the trees. And then we went to plastic bags, right? So we went to plastic bags from paper bags, went to plastic bags. And then now we're getting rid of plastic bags because there's too much garbage plastic all over the place. And we're going back to paper bags, which of course you got to pay for it, you know.
And also, they're more easily recyclable.
True.
I mean, for a given value of recyclable, they're more difficult for people to reuse personally than plastic bags were, but they're easier to process at like a recycling type facility.
Oh, okay. Good point. Because I was going to say, it's a lot harder to pick up dog shit with brown paper bags. It's easier with the plastic bags, but yeah. So I guess we're okay with cutting trees again.
Oh, as long as we can recycle them.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
We can reuse them again.
Reuse, reduce, and recycle.
That's correct.
I get it. Okay, so again, back to this pandemic thing. So shows are getting, stand-up comedy shows that we know of are getting pushed back here in Hawaii because of the rules, mandates, laws. What is it? Is it a law? It's not a law, right? I mean, technically, orders. Yes, ordered by Mayor Caldwell, who is saying that Bars, no. Restaurants, okay.
Even restaurants with alcohol, despite the whole reason why bars are not okay, is when people drink, they tend to get more loosey-goosey about the rules. And it's just like, so why don't you stop restaurants from serving alcohol? I actually had a conversation with this about this with my dad, who's a waiter. He was a waiter at the Hilton, so he's currently unemployed, basically. But he said, like, if restaurants weren't able to sell alcohol, most of them would probably just go, fuck it, we're going to stay closed, because they're able to get such high markups on that.
Elaborate.
What do you mean elaborate? Like
On the
profit
markup. What do you
margin.
mean markup? What markups?
They have a higher profit margin on alcohol than they do on other beverage options.
So go ahead, Russell.
Okay, so the restaurants can stay open because they serve food, and then on top of that, they can serve alcohol.
Mhm.
But the bars can't serve food?
Bars can serve food, and bars that previously, under not this set of orders, but a few sets of orders ago, he was saying that bars that serve over a certain bars that serve food, and the food accounts for over a certain percentage of their of their income, were counted as restaurants. But I don't know whether or not that's still the case. I believe it is, because there are some bars that are reopening with this new order, like, for example, Waikiki Brewing Company,
Right.
which I only know that they're going to reopen because they said it on the news, and they made sure to mention on the news that the last time they were trying to figure out the difference between a bar and a restaurant, they kept on getting fined or shut down, despite that they made over 50% of their income on food.
Oh, let's play what he's saying.
So bars and nightclubs will have to remain closed through tier 3, and it takes about 4 weeks to move up tiers. So does that mean bars and nightclubs will have to be closed for like the next 3 months?
Yeah, if that's the question, most likely that's the case.
If bars can't open, why is it fair for restaurants to serve alcohol?
Because when you're at a restaurant, you're sitting at a table in a group of 5, and you're much better managed. We know at bars that does not occur, and we know of examples of bars, including during the stay-at-home, work-at-home order, still being open. Bricks and Bones, open. Bad example of a bar. That's why.
Have you thought about making the same rules for bars?
Making
The same rules for restaurants and bars?
What happens when you go to a bar is you drink. And as you drink, you get more lax and comfortable, and you start forgetting the protocols. When I think of a restaurant, the primary purpose of a restaurant is to go to eat. We have 2 ways to do that right now. We go to the supermarket and purchase food, or we can order it for takeout from a restaurant, or go sit in a restaurant with your family unit, just like you could at home and order food. So it's very different than going to drink.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think bars get a bad rep, but also there are the bars that he was talking about breaking rules. I mean, you're not helping the other bars by doing breaking the rules. That sucks.
I really feel like, can't really prove it, but I really feel like back in the day, a bar owner just like didn't let Kirk into the bar, and then he was just like, one of these days I'm gonna get back at you. It may not be today, may not be tomorrow. It's like the dude in Back to the Future where he's like, Mayor, I'm gonna be mayor.
I'll show them.
I'll
show them all.
I'll show you. And then now's the day where he's like, remember that fucker who said never let me in?
So it's like Burns from Simpsons. It's like, yes, yeah. Where he's like, my plan has come to fruition. Maybe that picture, yes, maybe that picture that's been going around in social media with him and I'm assuming, because I don't really know the story behind the picture, there's a female there that doesn't look like that's his wife, but looks like it's somebody that you would meet at one of these bars that would
Yes.
host
Yeah.
at the bar.
Is that the ones where you may want to buy her a drinky?
Yeah, something like that. Like, which was what Chad brought was marked up drinky. I mean, drink. And then he was like, he was. I see him as the dude who's a little handsy. Like he might be all handsy, and she was like, "That's where I draw the line, sir. No amount of drinky will let you touch these puppies. So get your hands off me." And he walked out like, one day, Smithers, I'll show them, son.
Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday.
I'll show her and her mama, son.
And her son.
Yeah. Would it be son?
As long as we're making wildly unfounded accusations, I would like to submit this theory.
Okay, let's do it.
A lot of the bars, or a place where a lot of bars happen to be, that are going to be probably going out of business soon because of the heavy restrictions, and they're just, a lot of them just aren't going to be able to open this year based on how tough the restrictions are. They're going to be going out of business soon, and a lot of them happen to be around the Ala Moana corridor of where the rail would be built.
Ooh,
Now, I'm not saying that
That's spicy, Chad. That's spicy.
I'm not saying that
that's like kimchi spicy.
I'm not saying that his friends are definitely going to be trying to buy up property around that area. I ain't saying they're not either.
That is
Something to keep an eye on.
That is an amazing theory, Chad.
I feel like if this is released and people hear it, Evil Burns over there might hear it.
Again, this is wildly unfounded speculation.
That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
That's our specialty. Smithers.
Smithers, that Wago boy is onto our plan.
Yes, sir.
But that's awesome. I didn't think about that. Like that floored me. So like, it's funny because all those types of businesses, they
All
always
those
start with,
drinking establishments.
which they usually went by the name Club something,
Mm-hmm.
are probably going to start changing their name to Restaurant by Me, or
Restaurant by me drinking.
no, By Me Sandwich, Cheese
Sandwichy.
Sandwich, or they're gonna change. That'd be crazy. So yeah, because the way I guess they survive was they always change the owner to somebody else in the family and get it from taxes and stuff.
Make a minor tweak to the name, like
Yeah. Club Restaurant Green Apple or something. Or
Saigon Passion Smoothie.
Hey, that place is the first time I've ever been afraid, because I've been to other strip
Smoothie
clubs.
joints? A lot of smoothie joints?
Okay, there you go. We'll say smoothie joints. They have all these long poles in these smoothie joints. And I was assuming that must be the blender or something. But so these smoothie joints.
They spilled a lot of smoothie on this table here.
And then, so I've been to a lot of those types of smoothie places, and they usually have security who kind of look like me, and I'm kind of comfortable. This was the first time I went to one. There was one dude was like me, and luckily he was a friend of mine. I'm not saying we all know each other, but they had another dude who was like the typical. He looked like the typical bad guy in a kung fu movie, and no racial here, but he was Asian.
Mm-hmm.
He had the long Bruce Lee hair.
Yeah.
No racial. But he had on white jeans and a tank top, like a pink tank top with stripes that went horizontal. And then it was like...
Not the main bad guy in a kung fu movie.
No, not
just
the boss.
one of the henchmen that gets beat up.
Yeah, not the boss. The one that fights the second in command, the lieutenant.
The lieutenant.
Or the sidekick. The one who fights the sidekick.
So you were scared of that guy?
Yeah, because it was Saigon Passion, and I was like, whoa, this guy might know kung fu. I was racist and apologized at that time, but it was out of fear. I make fun of the dude. I was like, ooh, I better watch out for that dude. Because he was like, he goes, you sit down. I was like, okay, I sit down. I was like, because it was boots, and I didn't like, I got a gut, so the boots aren't friendly for big dudes.
Right.
So he was, my
Around
friends,
when was this, by the way?
This was maybe,
Was this like pre-2010s?
yeah, this was definitely before we started podcasting, like the early days.
So it was definitely when Saigon Passions was very dirty.
There was a section. They had like 3 different rooms and stuff, and I'm sure they had something going on behind the wall, which I didn't spend enough to get over there.
Well, when I said dirty, I wasn't speculating on their business practices. I meant that place was filthy,
Like red card,
unclean.
red card, filthy.
Because I remember the first time I went in there, like I put my arms down on the table and immediately was just like, nope, I'm just gonna keep these like this.
But then when you pull them off,
Not touching anything.
You pull them off the table, and then it was like, yeah, it's all sticky. See, but I live in Central Oahu, and we had, by our power plant, had a strip club. So everything was, and this is
a smoothie joint.
Yeah, sorry. All smoothie joints was a lot cleaner than that smoothie joint. This is like the power plant that powers Central Oahu, and then there was a smoothie joint right there. So you can tell the quality of this type of place. It was very for the industrial guys, I guess, or whatever, that like those types of smoothies. I would say that the smoothies, they didn't really crush the ice. It wasn't fine. It was quite rough in there.
What if it was Chad that was in Saigon Passion Smoothie House when you were in there? Once he put his hand like this, he could have been one of those security guys, right?
I don't know enough kung fu to feel comfortable wearing a pink striped tank top.
And then he just said, "You sit down," and you're like,
See, that's the thing. The guy looked cut up. Right. And he was wearing a pink tank top with white jeans. The white jeans was the one that did it for me. Because, like,
that scared you?
Who wears white jeans? Kung Fu masters wear white jeans.
People that watch too much P. Diddy rap videos also?
No, this is fitted. P. Diddy's days, it was baggy. This was fitted.
Oh, so this guy
tight white jeans.
So this guy was one of those guys who fought Van Damme in the bar.
Yes.
I think when he was drunk.
Yes. Van Damme was doing that dance like that with his shoulders. And
he was probably in every Van Damme movie getting his ass kicked.
Yes. He was a guy that would hit on Mei Lee, who, by the way, I heard, good friend. If you watch Kickboxer on USA or TNT, you would get that reference.
And you will.
Yeah, it was just like that.
So like, it was the white pants he scared you. That's what you were scared of.
Because it was like that, just like Saigon Passion makes me think of the smoothies. Saigon Passion smoothies makes me think of those Vietnam days and stuff.
Yeah, where that kung fu was born.
I didn't say that. I didn't
More
say
like
that.
kung fu. No, I'm sure that they have their own martial arts. I just don't know what it's called.
Yes. See, I grew up with Vietnamese guys in my neighborhood. Remember I told you guys that when I grew up, it was mostly Asians. It's Filipino, Korean, Vietnamese. And the Vietnamese guys, tough. And a lot of the reason they're tough, their moms whooped their ass like really bad, and they could handle it. I never messed with Vietnamese people. Most of the Vietnamese people, I mean, just to say, most of the Vietnamese people I know were nice people. So it's just, I know that they're tough. And if he's a boss in this movie, I'm just going to sit down, like he said. Because I didn't want to sit down. He was like, he kept pushing. Like, he goes, okay, here, sit down to my friends. And he went in the booth. And I was like, oh, I'll just stand up. Then he brought another chair. Go, you sit down. And I was like, yes, I will sit down now. I was like, I apologize, sir. And I always thought you guys were the good guys in all the white kung fu movies. So
don't make me ask again.
Yeah. No, he goes, I told you, you sit down. Sorry. That was a visual joke that won't go well with audio. But yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, it sucks for the bar owners that actually are really trying to follow the rules, are really trying to stay open for business, not for just for themselves, but their families and their employees and their employees' families. So
Right.
Maybe they should start serving
It's tough
food.
times. Even with, like, if they try to start serving food, Kirk's committed himself a while back. He said, like, we want to crack down on bars that are pretending to be restaurants.
And that's why he stopped that one I mentioned earlier, the 50%
Wahihi.
Yeah. So that's the reason they put a stop to that. They had to show that, hey, most of our money comes from the food, not the alcohol. And that was a good question by the reporters that were there. It was like, hey, what about these bars that serve alcohol? I mean, these restaurants that serve alcohol. And I guess he's like, it's funny because when the mayor was like, well, when I think of a restaurant, I think of 5 of my friends. I was like, man, I don't have that many friends. Welcome to a restaurant. It's me and my daughter, and it's just us two. We're there to eat, you know.
I have a lot of friends, but I generally try not to eat with more than 3 of them at a time.
The mayor's got a
once
deep
you get
crew.
more than 4, it's just like, well, are we going to squish? Is someone going to have to sit on the outside? Do we get a whole second booth for just one person? I don't know how we're going to do this. Could one of us just not come?
Yeah.
Everybody comes at Saigon Passion Smoothie House.
That's why it's so sticky.
I heard not the ladies, though.
On the table?
It's like the movie theater when you put your shoes on the floor and you get that butter popcorn feet. Like it's like that, but on your arms and on the table / stage. Because at these smoothie places, they like to exhibit their goods.
In case there are any Kung Fu masters that own or manage Saigon Passions, I would like to state for the record, that place is a lot cleaner than it used to be. The decor is much nicer. The last time I went in, you guys have done a great job upgrading. It's nothing like the horrible memories James and I have.
It's reeled it back a bit, huh? Reeled it back.
I tell you
look,
what.
I don't want the white pants guy to kick my ass.
Maybe that guy's I almost got racist for a second. That guy's green card expired. He went back home.
Or he's like super old and he has his own kung fu school now.
Oh, he's like
His
Pai Mei.
students will take revenge on me.
He's like Pai Mei. He's like,
They're gonna hear the show and then be like, and once things open up, they're gonna see you, man. They're gonna be like, "What's up, Kansas City?"
What's up, Kansas City? Hey, you guys are getting me in trouble, but you know what? Let's dial it back and let me just say, no place beats 939.
Hawaii's premier gentlemen's club.
Yes, Premier Gentlemen's Club. Because I think they were open for a little while, but I guess now they have to close again.
They were serving food for a while. Like,
Yeah, didn't Stewart rebrand as a restaurant? Hawaii's premier gentlemen's restaurant?
Oh, he did?
I thought
know-
he did.
I know they were serving food, but it was like a takeout or I don't think he was doing Bite Squad or anything like that. And then they even did a car wash.
where did they do the car wash? In the parking lot?
I'm not sure. I didn't focus on the
location?
surroundings. The pictures that I saw was focusing more on the baristas than or the smoothie makers. What are they called? So Starbucks has baristas. What does Jamba Juice have? Juicers?
I don't know. I'm going to Google this because I'm curious now. What are Jamba Juice employees called?
What can we call them? We can make up our own and we can start it. Like they don't have a name. The blenders, the fruit smashers. Ooh, again, wrestling now.
That sounds like a really bad name. Or
The banana mashers.
Yeah, they're just team members.
Team members. Oh, they're members?
what
Can
would
I
you call
speak
them?
to your Can I speak to your head member? Team members.
Yeah, I guess there's no like
But like
there's
sandwich
no
artist?
special title for someone who makes smoothies. A smoothist? Smoothiest?
Well,
a
what are they?
smoothie operator.
So they're mixing.
Oh, I like that one. I like that.
Smoothie operator.
I'm gonna do that next time we go to Jamba. Smoothie operator.
And they're gonna be like,
Smoothie operator.
mango, and strawberry guava. BBJ. Across the lid, down south on the straw, blended, babe.
That was actually a remarkably good song parody. Was that off the top of your head, James?
The dome, right off there.
So Blue Note, which is where a lot of the comedy stuff takes place, they're considered a bar?
I guess they must be if they pushed back all of the shows. I would have thought that they were considered a restaurant because I believe they stayed open during all of those times where the bars were shut down, but the restaurants were still open.
Yeah, because when we went for Patton Oswalt, I had dinner. You know, I didn't have pretzels and garlic fries. I actually had like a nice dinner.
Yeah, one of the perks of performing there is like you get to order off of the menu. Like every time I go there, I have a chicken Caesar salad because I'm just like, oh, I don't have to pay for food. I guess now is the time that I can have a salad. I don't want to pay for salad. That shit feels like a ripoff.
What did you eat, James? Because you performed there. You were the opener.
I always get the cheeseburger. I always go, I think it's mushroom burger, I think. But I always go with cheese. I know it's a cheeseburger. I like their cheeseburger. But their menu, I don't know if we see the full menu or we get like a smaller menu. But if I'm guessing their menu is not that big. And I don't think a lot of people go there and eat. They go there and mostly enjoy the show and then probably buy drinks. So maybe they're not making more than 50% from the kitchen, but actually the bar. I mean, it's possible. I think most of their money is from or a lot of their money is from the ticket sales, and then probably the bar second.
So if we just throwing this out there, if we GWI, the guys with issues, not rated, I guess, was in charge. We took over for Caldwell. And he said, I give all my power to these three noble gentlemen.
Yes.
We're taking over.
Yes. So besides saying, this is a new world order. Too sweet.
W-I.
What would we do in that situation? Like,
This is all very bad audio content, by the way. What James and I are doing. James and I keep on making motions.
It's okay. We have YouTube content.
Special YouTube content.
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Click that button that lets you know that we got a new episode.
Yes, sir. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yes. So you're saying, Russell?
If we were in charge and like we took over like right now, just for the sake of this scenario, what would we do to make it better, to fix things?
First off, instead of these little like 24-hour shutdowns or like some fines or whatever, any restaurant that violates whatever the new order of how things are going to be is, you get one warning, and the second time your license is revoked, not suspended. You just can't sell alcohol anymore.
Take that shit.
So it's like places like the ones that stayed open during the complete shutdown orders would just be like, no, you're not allowed to do business anymore.
No soup for you. No soup for you.
Which I don't know how legal that is.
I'm sure it's not very legal. I think, it's easier to just shut down everybody, right?
Apparently.
Like, you can fight that in court. I would let more people go outside to the beach, just not. But I would totally. Maybe we have to have some oversight about it. We can't have like these giant ass parties,
Yeah, maybe some of those unemployed people that sucks that their restaurants or their bars are shut down. They can't be working right now. Hey, you guys want to be beach cops or rather beach COVID enforcement officials?
It doesn't make a word. You gotta make one that makes a word.
Beach Enforcement Association. I was trying to spell
of
beach.
COVID heuristics.
I don't know what heuristics means, but that fits.
Heuristics are like measurements, I think. or
so we go
rules.
beach.
Maybe.
You work beach, bro. Beach. I like if we were in charge, I like what Chad said, what Chad was saying with the severe punishment. Maybe we can't revoke it. Maybe we can suspend it for a week or two. And then that 24-hour suspension, that's nothing. It's like, okay, we're closed tonight at midnight, and then we open tomorrow at midnight. You did nothing to those people for
Right.
they didn't. That I think the beach should be fine. It's just no parties. It's just, no big parties at the beach. No gathering larger than 10 or 5, whatever.
Right.
Don't get crazy. And as far as since we're talking about comedy shows, I think they should be able to do them. I mean, and stick to how Blue Note did with the local comedy show, where they had a glass screen window like thing, and then the performer on stage is doing the comedy, and the audience were spread out. I think total shutdown. I'm okay with the total shutdown when we were starting climbing out of control. The cases were climbing out of control. I'm cool with, hey, shut it down for 2 weeks. Let's try to get back on track, and then we start doing these practices that that they have now with the shows, with the people spreading apart, and wear a mask.
Yep.
You wear a mask. You walk in, you wearing a mask. You're gonna eat or you're gonna drink. Mask comes off. You're done eating, done drinking. Mask back on. And I think the problem with the anti-maskers is that
They're stupid.
one,
They're
and
assholes.
two, and three, that the government should say it, that the businesses are private property. If they tell you got to wear slippers or shoes or t-shirt, mask, then you have to wear that to go into that private property.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's that private property's rule. Instead of just saying, oh, we suggest you wear a mask and hope for the best. Because at least you back up these businesses for trying to enforce these rules. And it's not just to protect the customers, but the employees. That's what I'm thinking about. It's like when I go to places, I tell, hey, thanks for coming to work today. Because I'd be too afraid to come to work, especially when our number was, when it was like March, April, early, we had no clue. I mean, you guys remember I had an anxiety attack, and then you telling me I got to go work, I got to go bag groceries, I got to go pull carts or something. I'm like, no, I think I'm going to be sick this week. I'm not coming in, I'm staying home. So I appreciate those workers, and I tell them, hey, thank you for coming to work. At the hospitals too, when I visit my dad, I would tell at the nurses station, I would go by and I say, thank you guys for coming to work. I'd be too afraid to come to work, and you guys are brave. Thank you guys. Little things like that. I mean, I'm not trying to say you're the nicest or the sweetest guy, but I think that's the least I could do is, hey, thank you guys for coming to work. I mean, so the government should at least try to protect the workers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Should definitely protect the workers.
GWI getting the power, we will protect the workers.
Yep.
The working man, because the working man make the money and spend the money to make a working person. I apologize because I was doing a bit from some old movie. The working person, male or female, who should be making the same amount of money no matter what the gender is, they should be making equal money. Man, that's the new day pimp right there.
I keep expecting you to start talking about putting hard times on the country, daddy. Hard times.
Rent's too damn high. That's all I'm saying.
That's one of the other big things that I would be all about at this time, is making sure that rental assistance is there not just for individuals, but also for businesses, because I know that is a large portion of the financial burden that they are suffering under.
At this point, what are we, 6 months in already? A little bit more than 6 months? Yeah, it just seems like all the things that's going on now is like hurting everybody. Like I was cool with the shutdown back in March. I think it needed to happen because things were getting kind of crazy. But we got to come up with a different way. But at the same time, there needs to be a little bit more personal responsibility from the assholes that are walking around here saying, I'm infringing my freedoms. I don't want to wear a mask. Why don't you?
Okay, then stay the fuck home.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it comes to marketing again. I think we forgot because in March and April we were pointing out, hey, look at our heroes in the hospitals,
right.
our frontline workers, and they would come on and say, I wear my mask. You know, we hope that you wear your mask, something like that. I think that needs to come back. Is that if you give them a good reason to, they'll probably, there'll be some people who on the fence who probably go, yeah, that's right. I'll put it on for them. But then they get distracted by, fuck LeBron. And it's like, whoa, it's like, and then they start talking about NBA players and they start talking about football players. And it's like, you forget that it's not about those people. It's about the frontline workers. We don't want to overwhelm them.
Right.
That's the reason we should be wearing our mask.
And we don't
That's
want
the reason why we had this most recent shutdown. It's not because people were dying left and right. It's because if we didn't start to control the amount of people that were being hospitalized, then people might start dying, not because of COVID, but just because they wouldn't be able to get treated for whatever thing that they had. People would start dying for completely unrelated reasons if we overwhelmed our hospital system.
like there is a lack of personal responsibility for a lot of people.
Yeah. I
About
agree.
we're on the island, but we gotta work together because it's not like we can just drive to California or anything, or drive someplace else. We're stuck here together, so we need to work together for get this cleared up, and then we can start being assholes to each other again once everything's back to normal.
I look forward to the day that I can be an asshole again.
Yeah, I mean, and then we'll have PSAs for that,
It's like, hey, it's okay to be a jerk again. You don't need to thank that McDonald's worker for coming in today. You can treat him like a subhuman monster that you believe he is.
Proud to be an American.
Oh,
I love McDonald's workers, honestly. They feed me.
I like
McDonald's.
all fast food workers. Anybody work with food. I appreciate you guys because I don't have to cook that day, and you made something that the way I like it.
Even sometimes when you don't make it the way that I like it, I'm still okay.
It's like, fine, I'll eat it.
Crap. I guess I have to rub the mustard off. Oh, well.
Oh, is that a Saigon Passion Smoothie House?
Oh, I guess I gotta rub the mustard off. Oh man. So
Excuse me, white pants guy. How come nobody wiped the mustard off this table?
and he turns around and there's mustard stains on the back of his white jeans.
He's like, sit down.
No, it's you sit down.
You sit down.
No, the way he said it, it was, I don't have the masculinity or the enough testosterone to say it the way he said it. The way he said it, it was like a kung fu master just jabbing you with the finger, and it's like dim mak. Like, you sit down.
But with his voice.
Yes. So he was like that lady from Kung Fu Hustle that would yell and everybody go, ah. So his voice hit me like a dagger.
By the way, I'm really enjoying this Vietnamese kung fu artist during a Japanese move.
Kung Fu.
We at Guys with Issues respect and love diversity.
What's actually worse is that
sharing with each other.
yes,
sharing.
I was gonna say it's worse to think that a Vietnamese guy couldn't do kung fu and master a Japanese art.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, Russell? You
Yes.
racist.
Let's blend the smoothie operators together.
And soon,
I like how we do that. We always do some shit like that where no matter, the episode always wraps up towards the end and we just blend the Corona Sam all over again.
We'll just throw every weird shit that we came up with in this episode together. It's almost like we planned it out.
But I do want to, I guess it's a new segment here. We want to give a shot.
Shout out.
Yeah, a shout out. This past week, it was already a tough week. I mean, we already got the pandemic. People are losing their jobs. Some people are getting evicted. Some people, our business is shutting down. And then we get hit with the loss of the notorious RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who passed away a few days ago. she's been battling cancer for years. She's come through one and then another thing. She was 87, I believe, and she passed away. And the reason the guys with issues, I mean, we're all going to say other people as well, but want to give a shot. Let me pour my shot.
What are you drinking?
Got my scotch, Glenlivet 12 years for RBG, who done so much for the American landscape. I mean, she's fought for women since she got into the Supreme Court.
Well, before she got onto the Supreme Court, actually.
Right.
Like that's sort of the cases that she made her name on. She's done a lot for equality. That was basically sort of the purpose. A lot of the cases that, like I said, she made her name on trying to get equality throughout her entire life. And that is the reputation, which, as well as her husband's campaigning for, got her into the Supreme Court. And while she was there, she wasn't perfect, but she always did what she thought was best for the country and for us as Americans.
And so this shot is for you, Notorious RBG. Thank you so much for making a big difference with your life.
FYI, I'm drinking Coca-Cola. I've been sober for almost 2 years now.
Oh, congratulations, Chad. Almost 2 years?
I'll drink
January 4th, 2019.
Russell's going to say, I'll drink to that too. And then I'd like to do another special shout out. Monday morning, I lost my dad. I didn't lose him in the store or anything. He passed away. Just want to make that clear because I know how I say things. All of a sudden, there's a toddler that has a baby. So I gotta clear things up. But my dad passed away Monday morning. And a lot of people say, their dad is Superman, especially for a son. Dad is Superman. Growing up, he was he was the guy. For me, it almost literally was. I mean, my dad when I said my dad can beat your dad up, it pretty much was that, because my dad was one of those guys. And I'm hearing stories from uncles, and it's so funny. But my dad actually, and I don't want to be like one of those bragging whatevers. My dad, who passed away, he's at 84, served in the Army. He was in airborne. He's stationed in Germany, Korea. He was also a teacher in American Samoa and a police officer. And he was also in Congress. He was the representative for American Samoa.
Wow.
So I know it tripped me out too. I was blown away by he was jumping out of airplanes back in the 60s. And he was like, oh yeah, when I meet these new guys in airborne, like today, I always tell them, oh, you guys got the good parachutes. Ours had holes. Ours had holes in them. But yeah, he was our village back in American Samoa, Waitangi. He got street lights for them back when a lot of villages didn't have. So I'm like, wow, that's super cool. So it's a trip because I know him as the guy who used to kick my ass for having bad grades or getting in trouble for stealing or whatever's. That finding out later that wow, he worked in DC back in the in the 70s. That's so weird. And I seen his representative card, and he had the lamb chop sideburns.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow! But yeah, he passed away. He's battling. He's old. He was in the hospital for a while, and we were happy that we were able to bring him home because he hates hospitals. Mm-hmm. Bring him home to be with us his last week of his life. And here, Pop, James Aifano Mane. God bless you. Thank you. All right. And on that note, my chest is really warm right now.
That's because of the drinking.
In closing, the guys with issues, although we joke around a lot, we play a lot of, we talk a lot of trash. We actually care about you guys. Those who are listening and your family and friends, we care about you guys. One thing we don't like is bullying. We are against bullying. if you are being bullied or see someone who is being bullied, there are people that you can talk to. Find us on social media. Hit us up. Send us follow us, and then send us a message, and we'll reply. Um, those of you that see others that are in need of help, if it's violence, we're not telling you to go ahead and jump in there. Make a phone call. Call somebody, coming, police, or if you're at school, when school comes back, call a teacher or security or something. Basically, what we're saying is, when you're out there and out and about, be nice. Maybe say hello, a smile. That person you pass by that that you didn't even think twice about, that might be the little thing that they need to not do anything to harm themselves that day. We're not asking you to go out of your way and be friends. It's just be nice. Those of you out there who are thinking of hurting yourself, I know we're in a stressful time. A lot of people are depressed during this pandemic. Please get help. Call the National Suicide Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. That's 800-273-TALK, or 1-800-784-2433. That's 800-SUICIDE. They can help you out, or maybe they'll be the ones who can point you in the right direction. Guys with issues, we want to be friends. We want to be your friends. Hit us up. Find us on social media. Myself, James Mane, Russell Kealoha, and Chad Wago. We're all over social media. Google search, find us. We care about you. We don't want you to hurt yourself. Any last words, Russell?
Be kind to each other. Ooh, I stole that.
Chad?
What Russell said.
He stole that from Chad.
Yes, both that part and the actual be kind to each other part. Above everything else, just be kind to each other. When you see someone who's like obviously hurting, it doesn't cost anything to reach out to them, especially if there's someone who is your friend. There's no reason to just ignore them.
Yeah. So those of you who like the podcast, tell a friend, tell one friend, share the word. We can get to as many people as we can. We would love the help, the kokua, the aloha. Thank you for listening to the episode. My name is James Mane. As always, I am with Russell Kealoha.
Goodbye, everybody.
And Chad Wago.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. God bless you. Stay safe. Good night.